I've traveled to some places in my life, in Brazil and abroad. Abroad, one of the most special trips was to Europe. We traveled in four people. We went together, my husband, two students, and I. I didn't have my baby at that time. So we visited five places. We went to, I think it was Italy first, Italy for 10 days. So we traveled by car. We visited many cities. It was very special. I don't remember
Oh, nice.
the sequence of places, but I
My
remember.
biggest dream.
Yes, do you have the
It's my
dream to
biggest
travel to Italy?
dream.
It's a beautiful place. I thought that they wouldn't understand my Portuguese, but they understand some Portuguese. So there I could speak both Portuguese and English with them. But I didn't speak any Italian at that time, so I couldn't speak. I wasn't able to speak Italian with them. Then we visited Holland, and I was um, very curious about the Red Street. There's a place where you can see the women, they are all naked and they work you this way. This is their jobs. And I knew that they sold marijuana cake, and I wanted to see if it was true, if they really sold that. I didn't buy, I didn't eat it. My student ate a little bit, but I didn't try. And it was a great experience to see that it really exists. Um, and
Teacher, sorry. I don't understand which cake did you speak?
it's
Cake?
well, yes, marijuana cake. It's a kind of drug, the lightest
Uh,
drug
oh,
that
yeah,
people smoke. Yes, they have a
yeah.
kind of cake that is produced by marijuana and other things, other ingredients. I didn't try it, but my student tried it. And it was
And
nice to see
delicious.
that
Is
whole.
it delicious?
I didn't eat. I didn't eat.
No.
Just my student. He said it was good. Well, also we traveled to London in England. Then we traveled to Paris, France, and what else? There were five countries. Ah, and we went to Switzerland. Yes.
Nice.
So it was a very good experience. We spent 23 days traveling together. And also another very special trip was to United States when I traveled to my brother-in-law. His mother lives there, so we went to her house, and also we visited all the east coast of United States. So we got on a plane to Miami, and then we rent a car there, and we traveled for around 15 days, all the east coast of United States. So we visited many cities, and it was very special. We also went to Disney. It was my first time there. My father, my husband, and I, because my brother-in-law stayed in his mother's house. And it was really nice, really nice. It was the first time that I saw snow, the first time. When we got to Boston, when we finished our trip, we stayed in Boston for 4 days, and there was snow. It was snowing a lot. So it was the first time that I saw snow in my life. To be honest, it's a great experience, but it's very, for me it was very tiring because it's very cold, too much cold. So you don't feel comfortable to go outside. You need to be careful because you can slide and fall on the floor. So it's a great experience, like to meet, to see for the first time, but then it's over. I wanted the hot weather of Brazil. I just want to come back to Brazil. So these were some trips. I also went to Punta Cana. Do you know Punta Cana? In
Yes, in Mexico. Mexico.
Dominican
Or
Republic.
no? Oh, yes.
It's near Cancun. So then that trip was the first one that we did abroad together, my husband and I. And we stayed in a resort for 7 days. So with much food and many kinds of drinks. So it was very good too. It was a relaxing trip. The water of the sea is really blue. It's very transparent, so it's very beautiful. But there, I wasn't able to speak to the people because the people in the resort, the employees, they didn't speak English and they only spoke Spanish. And I tried to speak kind of Portuguese Spanish together, and they didn't understand me. So everything that my I needed to do, I wanted to know. My husband was the interpreter, so he spoke to the person. I could understand, but I wasn't able to speak. So I felt how my students probably feel when they travel and they don't know how to speak English. So when you cannot communicate, it's tough. It's hard. It is stressful. So stressing moments. What else? I think that's all. These are all the places that I traveled. Oh, when I was 18 years old, I went to Ireland, to Dublin, and I stayed there for 6 months studying. It was a great experience as well. Talking about the weather, it was tough because in Brazil we have the sun all the time shining a lot. It's hot. The things are bright. The colors, there are colors everywhere. And in Ireland, everything is gray. It's raining all the time. It's cold. It's a different language, different culture, no parents around, no family around. So it was a tough experience. But at the same time, it was very good because I learned a lot. I learned how to be independent, how to live by myself, to cook. I didn't know how to cook, and I learned how to cook. Uh, I learned how to speak to people because I was very much shy. And when I stayed there for 6 months, I needed to speak for everything and with everyone. So my English got much better, my pronunciation, my listening skill, because their accent is very tough, very hard, very challenging to understand. So it was an awesome experience. I love traveling. This is, I'd say this is my hobby number one. Of course, it's not possible to travel all the time because of the responsibilities we have. But whenever we can, we've got it. We get an opportunity. We travel. We travel to close places around the city that we live, and it's very special. I met my husband traveling, so we met
Oh, nice.
traveling together to London. Yes. So he was an English teacher, and I bought a trip package in a place, and he was the guide of the trip. So then I met him during the trip,